Why is it that more people seem to resonate with the portraits that I take on a Q2 monochrome or a Q3 monochrome rather than, say, something with a longer focal length on it? I'm going to get into that today. My name's Paul Reed. Welcome to the channel. I want to start this by saying whenever I mention the Q3 monochrome, it could just as easily be a Q2 monochrome, a Q2, a Q, a Q3, whichever. They all have the same lens. Now I'm not talking about the Q3-43, I'm talking about this 28mm summer lux that is on the Q3 monochrome and most of the Qs before it. One of the reasons why I shoot more portraits with this camera than any other camera is because this is my everyday carry camera. So this is the camera that I'm going to usually have whenever I see somebody that I'd really love to take a portrait of. It's going to be the camera that's with me whenever I start talking to somebody and then connect with them and then say, hey, do you know, I'd really love to take your portrait. So that's one of the reasons why I take so many with this. This is my everyday carry camera because I use it for street as well, and obviously like 28mm is such a good focal length for street photography. Let me tell you, when I'm out on the streets, I also take a lot of crap. I also take a lot of photos that I think might look good and they don't. That's part of the process of street photography. I think you've just got to be out there shooting, just snap away, snap those moments before they're gone, because you never know, you might capture a moment that is never going to happen again. So look, don't think that I'm not like you in where I come back after a day of street photography and then I look through the images and go, well, there's not much good there then. I'm happy whenever I've got maybe like 2 or 3 cracking images. That's a good day of street photography for me. If you're like me, you tend to get inspired whenever you go somewhere new to do street photography. I know for me, whenever, you know, I go to Japan or I go to New York, places like that, I'm just like a kid in a candy store and I just get so excited and just capture lots of fantastic moments. I've only got one space left on my Tokyo, Japan 3-day and 3-night workshop now. So if you've been thinking about coming on that workshop, I'll put a link in the description. I'll put a link in the description to all my workshops. I've also got a 3-day one next year in London. That's going to be really amazing. These 3-day workshops seem to fill up really fast, and I've came to the realization that because people are traveling to come to these workshops, then 3 days seems to be a very popular amount of time to, you know, to do a workshop. So that is probably why these ones fill up very, very quickly. So there might be about 2 places left on that London workshop, that 3-day workshop, and there's only 1 place left on the Tokyo 3-day and 3-night workshop. So have a look at all the workshops, see if there's one that you like. I'd love to see you there. I've got 2 main setups that I use whenever I'm taking my portraits. Yeah, of course, it's the Q3 monochrome, but then the other camera that I've got is an M246, and on this, pretty much almost glued to this most of the time, is this 35mm Summilux FLE lens. This is an amazing lens, but it's slightly closer obviously than a 28mm. But those are the 2 cameras that I use. In the main though, it's the Q3 monochrome portraits that seem to get the most attention. The 35mm ones, you know, they get a lot of attention. People seem to resonate with those portraits, but a lot of the time it's the photographs taken on this camera that seem to get liked more, I guess. I do dabble a little bit with longer focal lengths. I've got a 75mm lens that I really like using. I've also got a 90mm lens that I like using. So that's like the longest focal lengths that I'll ever use. But those are usually used specifically for a shoot, for something where I know that that's the focal length that I want. But in the main, I'm normally using nothing more than a 35mm lens for portraits. And of course, a lot of people will say that those wide angle lenses, they're not for portraits, or they shouldn't be used for portraits. But it's those portraits that I take, especially with the 28mm, that everybody seems to love. Everybody seems to feel like they're getting dragged into those images. I've been thinking about this and I've just been kind of wondering why that is, and I think I know some reasons why that might be. I shot a bunch of portraits in Glasgow the other weekend and I'm going to show you those now, but all of these were taken with the Q3 monochrome. Now, the 28mm lens, it's not easy to use, and I'll get into that in a minute, but here, have a look at these portraits from the Q3 monochrome. One of the reasons I think might be that people are drawn to these sorts of portraits, say, than to something shot with like a 90mm lens. I think it could be because people are so used to seeing portraits taken with those longer focal lengths that maybe when they see portraits taken with a wide angle lens, maybe it just looks different, and maybe that's why those portraits get more attention. Another reason might be that with 28mm portraits, obviously I'm standing quite close to the subject, and I think as a viewer, I think people can feel that, and I think as a viewer then feels closer to the subject themselves. Because of that slight distortion with 28mm, I also know that you do feel kind of pulled in and sucked into the image, so that might be a reason why people resonate more with these portraits than others. It's not easy to shoot portraits with a 28mm lens. For a start off, it's not the most flattering of focal lengths. Now, the 28mm Summilux lens that is on the Q3 monochrome, that is a very, very sharp lens. I'm not even going to call it clinically sharp, but it's just so sharp that it shows up every line and wrinkle and every worry that your subject has ever had. And I do have to like de-hance those images a bit with grain and things like that afterwards in order to have more of a real look, because we don't see people in everyday life in that high definition. We might kind of think that we do, but I've looked at a subject and then took a photograph with the Q3 monochrome, and the subject looks way worse on camera than they do in real life. So it's really enhancing everything about the subject. So I do have to de-enhance those images. So that's one reason why it's not an easy lens to use. But the other thing as well is with 28mm, you're getting so much in the frame that you have to really think about your composition. You have to really position the subject, or rather you move around the subject, in order so that things in the background really kind of complement the subject. Even with 1.7 on that lens on the aperture, yes, you do get some background blur, you do get separation, but you're not getting that sort of background blur that you're going to get from a 90 or a 75 or even a 50. So you really have to think about the backgrounds. So maybe that is the reason. Maybe I just take better photographs. Maybe I just compose things better whenever I'm using 28mm. Most of the portraits taken in my new Monochrome portraits book, most of them are taken with 28mm or 35mm. So that's why they have this kind of this look that seems to go right across the board. Yes, they're all shot in monochrome. Yes, they all have, you know, my editing style to them. They're all shot on monochrome sensor cameras, but in the main, they're shot with wider angle lenses, and I think maybe that's given me like a consistent look throughout all of my portraits. Monochrome Portraits Volume 2 is released in about a week's time. There's only 500 copies. They're all going to be signed and numbered. So if you haven't pre-ordered your copy of Monochrome Portraits Volume 2 yet, there's absolutely loads of portraits in there. I think there might be about 90 portraits in there for you to look at and be inspired. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to pre-order your copy. Like I say, it's released in about a week's time. I'd really like to know your opinion as to why you think that the portraits that I take with this particular lens that's on the Q3 monochrome, why those are more popular than photographs that I take with longer focal lengths. So in the comments, just let me know what you think it is, because I'm still not entirely sure. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable using a 28mm focal length for portraits. I can see that on the workshop. Sometimes a lot of people turn up with a Q3-43 because they're more comfortable with that focal length. 28 seems too wide to a lot of people, but maybe you should just try it out for a while and bear with it, because you do have to compose things a lot more carefully with 28mm. But what you can get from that is some amazing portraits. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.